This is the Aquatic lightsaber. I designed it after the character of Kit Fisto, not his lightsaber, but the character itself. And so the lightsaber is water themed with a etching around the top that reflects an aquatic theme, and also etching on the bottom that just says, "May the Force be with you," in Arabic. Some of the interior details are in green. The pixel screen, which I'll turn on here in a moment, is in green as well. It's dual hardened and is completely suitable for use, stage combat, light dueling. Has a CoverTech wheel on the other side for wearing a belt clip. And of course I'll post close-ups of the design elements as still photos. So to use the saber, remove the kill key, which is going to turn on power to the saber. Keep the kill key in when not in use. That'll turn in the green LED that it's on. Right behind that is the power port, and finally behind that is the display. So the display in its normal mode shows the current palette. So this is at palette 4. It supports 8 palettes, 0 through 7. The bar beside that is the battery charge. 4 dots is the highest, so this one's fully charged. And the line to the side of that, which is just a single dot now, is the volume level, which is set at its lowest audible setting of 1 dot. Tap to go through the modes, so a single tap takes us to the palette mode. I'll take it back to palette 0. Hold will go through the sub-selections. So when I hold it, I can go from 0 to 1 to 2. So I'll hold it back to 0. Tap goes to the volume mode. I'll leave it at its volume setting of 1. And then it's ready to go. Palette 0. All set. So press and hold to turn it on. It supports motion. It supports impact sounds. You can tap the button to do blaster black effects. And when you're all done, push and hold to turn it off. It's generally a good idea to turn it off after every 10 or 15 minutes for a couple minutes to give the heatsink a chance to cool. It has a large heatsink in the front, and the LED is connected to it via thermal paste. So it's well thermally sunk, but still a good idea to cool it occasionally. A few things about its operation. It actually has 2 set screws that are of course easy to get confused. So the lower one should be left alone, but if you do loosen it, go ahead and just retighten it, and that keeps the LED in place, the heatsink for the LED more correctly. And also, should the saber be dropped or in use, that anchors the heatsink so you don't get the big weight of the heatsink driving into the electronics. The higher set screw loosens the blade. Now these are a little tricky. You want to always use the Allen wrench in its long fashion so you don't over torque it. This is aluminum. And you want to have the blade set firmly, but not torqued down, not over tightened. And likewise, when you untighten it, you just loosen it up a little bit, and then the blade is going to come right out. A quick note on care: the outside is aluminum and the etching is an electrical etch, so obviously it can't wear off or anything like that. However, the interior components are a PLA plastic and the blade is made of polycarbonate, which are sort of chemically reactive to some stuff that you wouldn't expect, like never get it near WD-40, for instance. So if you have trouble with the pommel, it gets locked up, the best thing is to use a silicone oven mitt to twist it off, but something very gentle there. If you need to clean it, I find that the best thing is a cloth rag and an isopropyl alcohol. Now, all that said, there's a school of thought that believes in keeping them very pristine. There's a school of thought and some beautiful work doing lightsaber weathering. I really feel that it's meant for use. So it comes out in fairly pristine condition. There's some scratches, minor, very minor scratches from the manufacturing. Some I buff out, some I've left. But as you use it, it will get scratched up, and it may get dropped, and it may get chunks whacked and scratched and knocked into it here and there. And I really prefer to think of that as weathering in use. They are lightsabers meant to be twirled and spun and dueled and stage combated. Just made a verb there. And used.